It's Monday, September 24th, 2012. Weekend recap news for XDA. Let's just do this. Yep, it's been that kind of weekend. Anyway, first off, some update news. Thanks to the people at the Free Xperia project and the Kang Xperia project, AOKP has been ported to 14 new Sony Xperia devices. That is the Jelly Bean variant of AOKP, of course. Thanks very much to XDA recognized contributor Champion Swimmer for bringing this to our attention. It says that the amount of functionality varies from device to device. However, there aren't normally more than 2 or 3 things that are considered broken per device, so you can consider them fairly well stable. Do read up on the forum thread to see what works and what doesn't work per device, so if your device is supported or not, things like that. It's not actually listed in the post, and I don't have the time or the desire to go look every single device up and rattle them off to you, so please just go look in the forum thread. In other device news, a bit of news that made me extremely happy. Verizon finally started rolling out the Jelly Bean update to the Verizon Galaxy Nexus this week. Doesn't exactly affect me because I'm running AOSP, however it does affect a lot of people that I know and a lot of people out there in the community that are not quite ready to jump into a custom ROM. However, that said, I've got a friend who lives very close by here who owns a Galaxy Nexus and who has not received the update yet, so my guess is it's still in the rollout phases and it just hasn't happened to everybody yet. If you remember a little while back, we talked about the Samsung Galaxy Note GT N7000 and how an update potentially could brick it. And I don't think it was just the Note, it was a lot of different devices, but the Note specifically was one of the ones that was mentioned in the post and was mentioned in previous posts. Well, XDA senior member HG42 was one of the guys that came up with the way to unbrick the device. It was sort of a manual method though. Well, now he has created a partition scanner. Actually, 2 partition scanners. One that does a one-time scan to see if there's anything that's bricked, anything that's locked up that it can unlock and fix. And one that's an infinity one that will just keep running over and over again to see if something pops up magically or somehow. I don't believe this actually runs at runtime. It does say you have to reboot to finish it, so I'm going to assume it's not happening during actual system runtime. It says that it can keep checking though, just in case a brick happens while you're running it. One way or another, very nice to have a utility like this that can bring things back from potential death. In some other news I find particularly interesting, as you may or may not know, there is an application out there in the market called DSLR Controller. It was written by one of our XDA Elite Recognized Developer, if I remember correctly. That's called Chainfire. I'm actually using that app right now to record me on you on this. But essentially what it does, it takes my DSLR, it allows me to control it, thus the name DSLR Controller, and allows me to record what's going on. Well, much in the exact same vein, actually, XDA senior member Magic Ash has created his own application that does sort of the same thing. It's called USB Cam Controller, and it is free right now, so if you do want to try it out, go ahead and give it a shot. Haven't done it quite yet myself, but I do actually intend to try it out just to see what works, what doesn't. From the videos that I saw of it, it looks like it's still very early on. Of course, the forum thread makes it sound like it's still kind of early, and the capture, the actual playback of it, the Chainfire application, it plays at probably 10-15 frames per second. The USB cam controller plays at something like 2, maybe less. It just was very jerky and choppy. So I could see it being more useful for taking stills. This is more useful for taking video. This is amazing for taking video. But one way or another, you can't beat free, so if you have a device, a DSLR that's a Canon or a Nikon, and you're interested in trying this out on your device that has USB on-the-go host control, you might want to give it a look. And that's really the big news that I found from this weekend. The last thing I thought I would mention, of course, if you haven't seen it already, on Saturday, Adam put out the results of the Win a Galaxy S3 XDA contest. That was the Bash Obfuscation contest, if you were not familiar with it. I'm not going to tell you who won. You have to go watch his video if you want to see that for yourself. Needless to say, there were a lot of good entries, and actually I helped Adam judge the contest. We went through all of the entries and found the ones that we really enjoyed, the ones that were really obfuscated, the ones that were really complicated, the ones that did some very cool stuff. And we went back and forth for a long time and deliberated, and I actually, I think he let the forum make the decision, so it was us and then you guys that made the decision, so very nice, awesome community effort there. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I'm gonna go edit this video and play some video games, and I will see you guys on Friday. AOKP. That is the Jelly Bean variant of AOKP.